Morning. So, in a turn up for the books, just as I was coming through Rochester, on the way out, I ran into a friend. He was doing the school run to pick up his kids. I didn't realise he lived quite as close to the trail, so he invited me back to stay with him for the night. So, great, after my adventure yesterday, I was able to get my trousers washed, and also my socks that were all disgusting. Boots are still a bit gross, but so I've had a little bit of a late start today. It's about 10 o'clock. I'm going to get a bit of miles on me, stop. I had some breakfast and tea before I left, so I'm just looking for where to get through this fence. So I'm going to stop a bit further down, have a little break. Maybe when we get to Atoxeter, have a look at the map, decide where we're going to get to. Possibly be able to make it as far as Cannock Chase today and sleep in the woods around there tonight, but that might be a bit optimistic. So I'll have a look at the map and let you know. Look at that blue sky. So at least the start of the day is going to be good walking weather, I think. I'm not going to look it up by the forecast. I'm not going to tempt fate. We'll just play it by ear, see how far we get until it starts raining, which it inevitably will at some point. Oh, I should have mentioned, just from my friend's house where I stayed, I'm just following public footpaths that are going to take me back onto the trail. I'm going to hit the trail just about 200 metres from where I met my friend and got picked up and left it yesterday. So I'm just going to skip out like a 200 metre section of road walking, which I'm fine with. The bridge behind me, just the other side of the bridge, was where I left the trail last night. So I just walked back up to this side of it, so I'm actually only missing 50 metres of trail in the end, just basically walking over that bridge and then back on it now, so just retracing the last little bit of my steps. Yeah. So the next stop of any significance is Atoxeter. My plan there is to stop and hit up a supermarket and get a few more supplies and work out what my aim for camping tonight is going to be. I've got a couple of options I can aim for depending on how fast I'm making progress. Yeah, it's warm now, that sun's out. It's lovely. I'm snacking on soft licorice, which is basically pure sugar. But if you're feeling healthy, then the field over there looks like it's full of kale and is that Cavolo Nero, I think, and the darker in the row at the front. Yeah. Could pop in and get some additional supplies there, actually. Maybe not. That is a very, very comprehensive sign. I think we're following the public bridle road to Doveridge. Doveridge, I'm not sure. Yeah. So it doesn't actually say Staffordshire Way on it, but I'm pretty sure it is down here. I'll double check the map before I go too far. Honestly, could not have asked for better walking weather than this. It's, I don't know, like 14 degrees maybe. Lovely and warm when the sun's on you. There's just a little bit of a breeze, but nothing really cool wind. This is fantastic. Blue skies as well. So that's where we've come from. Let's get a shot with some of the skies then. That was quite a struggle to get through with the pack on. Yeah. Well, this whole path is suboptimal. This bit of it. Oh. Anyway, just finding a way to get across this road now. Aha! Excellent. We'll go underneath the road. That's perfect. Quarter to 1. It's about a half mile to Toxteth, so we should get there like 1ish. So that's good. But what I might try and do is if I can find somewhere nice to sit down, I'm gonna make some food up before I head into town. So if I'm gonna get a few supplies there, I'd rather lighten the pack a little bit before I do so. I want to pick up some fresh fruit ideally, maybe some veg or something. I like this sign. That seems like it'd be quite effective actually. I haven't seen that one before. So you can see, just coming up to the edges of the Toxteth now, more signs of civilization. Right, just heading out of the Toxteth now. Didn't really stop anywhere, just called briefly into a supermarket to pick up a few bits and pieces, like I said. But now I really am looking for somewhere to stop so I can eat some of this food I'm carrying with me, and hopefully find a bin to get rid of the containers for it and empties, and then I can rearrange things in my pack, because I've just got a carrier bag with bits and pieces in at the moment. Oh, what's that now? It's just a children's play area. Yeah, some kind of bench or picnic table would be the dream right now. I think there's one maybe just to the right behind this hedge. Let's see when we get onto the road. So there is, you probably just see behind me, there's a tiny little park. But just down the side of this house is the edge of town. So I'm actually gonna pass up that opportunity, I think. I'm just gonna walk to the start here and see, maybe see what I can see down here. And yeah, play it by ear. Yeah, I'm going to push on down here for a little bit. This is basically the edge of town now. Yeah, see. There's the edge of the estate there. There's the edge of the estate there. Even if there's no bench or something, I'll just find a flat bit of ground and put a mat out. It'll be a bit nicer than a tiny park in a housing estate. Hello. Right, it's 2:15. Just past the farm and the field with the calves, and I'm not going to stop and make a proper meal. I'm just going to stop and have a quick snack, basically whatever I can eat and a drink that doesn't need kind of getting the stove out and firing gas up and stuff like that, just because I'm getting quite hungry now, and I need to answer a call of nature as well, so I need to stop and take my pack off and rest my back as well for a bit. The weather continues to be outstanding. I'm almost tempted to put my tent up for 15 minutes just to air it out for a bit, but I don't think I'm going to bother. I don't want to encourage myself to stop for too long. Anyway, enough natter. I'm just going to have my snack, and yeah, one of these tuna salad things. 320 calories and 21 grams of protein, so pretty good macros. And a bottle of beer, which is less good macros. It's 2:25 now, so I've only been here like 10 minutes, and I'll bring the beer with me and drink it while I'm walking. Okay, let's go. just looking at this field and thinking it'd be actually quite nice to pitch if it was a bit later in the day. But that's got me thinking I did need to check the map and find out where we're looking at distance-wise. I'm currently thinking Cannock Chase is probably expecting a little bit much of the daylight hours we've got left. So maybe Blithfield Reservoir is a little bit shy of that, is about, I think, about 5 miles from where we are now, which should be doable in a couple of hours, no problem. We'll see. Right. So I'm just coming up to Abbots Bromley, which is a little bit shy of where I wanted to get to, but I think that's about 10 minutes away, and I think I've got about 20 minutes of light left. But looking on the couple of different map views, it looks like there is a field just on the, like a nice open bit of field right on the edge of town. So if I think about if that's like a decent surface to camp on, and I'll camp near the far side of that to the houses, like away from the town, or say town village, and then there's a pub just near it as well. So what I'm thinking of doing, if that works out, then I'll pitch my tent there. I'll dump all the heavy things in there, like tins of food and water and that, and then take my bag and stuff and go and have a pint in the pub. If that doesn't work out, then this field that I've just come through will do in a push. And like I say, it's only a little walk out of town. And actually, the stuff that I'm walking through here, maybe something even a bit closer. The field on the edge of the village turns out not to be good for whatever reason, then I've only got like a 10 or 15 minute walk back. And as long as I make sure my head torch is fully charged before I leave the pub, then I'll be fine to kind of come back in the dark and pitch. I'll scout out a backup place like over the next 10 minutes on my way into the village. Right, let's get moving before we lose the light completely. But right now, this here is my best backup option, and this will be fine. This is actually quite good ground to put stakes in, I think. So the worst case scenario is not bad at all. And just either side of the bridge is actually even better, just because of the surface is a little bit more freshly trimmed. I think it's had like animals grazing in here more recently, probably. Okay, progress. Yeah, this is perfect. This is the field that I was saying was on the map near the edge of town. Looks like it was it looks like it was a cricket field at one point, maybe. It looks like, or a sports field of some kind. So that's where I came in. The Staffordshire Way came up the field on the up the hill on the far side of this tree line there, and then you can see Old Sports Up, part of it's fenced off, but this big triangle's open, so maybe like down in the far corner or along this side here. But it seems to be popular with dog walkers, so I'm not going to pitch my tent now. I'm going to go into town and get a couple of beers, and then I'll come back when it's dark. So Abbots Bromley, I really like Abbots Bromley of what I can see so far. I just walked into what looks like the kind of like the village square. One pub, the Crown. Two pub, the Goat's Head. And that looks like another pub down there, and I can't read the sign in this light. So let's have one in the Goat's Head, see what that's like, and then maybe have one in the Crown. Me likey. So, turn up for the box. Came to the Goat's Head, had a beer, got talking to people inside, and got offered basically, do you want to pitch your tent in the beer garden out back? So, it's a bit dark, you probably can't see it here, but there it is. Oh. Pretty decent space here. The tent is really wet from the night before last still, which is kind of annoying. So I put the tent up. I'm going to leave one of the outer doors open. All of the mesh is closed. So I'm just going to let it air out for a bit and maybe dry out a little bit. Let's see how it goes. There's the back of the pub. You saw the front of it a moment ago. So I'm going to sleep here tonight, which is great. I'm going to leave... I think the beer garden's pretty, like, no one's using it. It's all kind of locked off. It's November, it's dark, right? No one's sitting outside. And it's pretty chilly as well. Because it's been such a clear day, obviously it gets colder at night. So there's that. So I'm just going to leave my stuff here for now. I'm going to go inside, get another drink, and then I'm going to come back out, see what the tent's like, maybe try and give it like a wipe down where I can, and just like, fettle it a bit and get it as taut and as good as I can. The ground here is, although there's covered in leaves, so you can't really see what you're doing, it's actually pretty good to pitch on, and it's nice and flat. But I'm going to come out, sort my sleep system out, make sure like my thermarest is all inflated, and I'm going to get some food. I'm going to make some hot food then. But yeah, this is result.